Alright guys, what's going on? Aaron Goldston here. So in this video is all about the script. This is well, both things are powerful, and this is why there's two things you need. The first thing you need is lots of leads. Right, you would agree with me on this. You need lots of people who are consistently all the time forever hitting you up with lots of phones or stuff to sell. You could buy like laptops and tablets. I like pretty much buy phones. I'm real good at it, and I get enough leads just to do phones, and I'm real familiar with it. There's no reason I couldn't do other stuff, but I get so many leads, it's like I don't really need to do anything else. So you need lots of leads, right? If you only have 3 people a day that are contacting you, that have stuff to sell, you're not going to make any money. Because you have to go through a certain amount of bullshit. You have to go through people who have phones you don't want. There's going to be people that have phones that are, 7 years old, and they got the cracked screen, and they don't power on. Those phones on eBay might go for $5, so we're not going to buy them because we're not going to make any money. So there's people that have phones that we don't want. Then there's going to be people who we can't come to agreement with, terms with. So they're going to want, and there's only one concern, only one reason they don't want to do business with you is you're not offering them enough money, right? And I'm going to give you some strategies to overcome that. But still, even with the strategies, there's going to be some people that we can't deal with, and that's totally fine. Then there's there's other stuff, right? I'll occasionally get someone that lives 4 hours away. So the agreement said they live 4 hours away. We don't do the deal. And then there's other bullshit, right? They could stop responding, which is rare if you're doing it right that they stop responding. But they could stop responding. Or, it could be a gazillion things, whatever it is. They could have, there's a bunch of things. So in order to combat all that and still make money, you need leads. People messaging you all the time. Now, once you have the leads, guys, you need the script. You need the words to say to get people to buy and to get, they're not buying from you. You need the words to say to get people to agree to your price and to meet you now. Not later. They don't want to think about it. Get them to meet you now. And that's what we're going to go over the script. So with the script, let's go ahead and dive right into it. There's 5 steps. Alright. There's 5 steps every customer goes through before, guys, a lead is a customer. I'm calling it the same thing. Someone who has a device who could potentially sell you something and who's interested in messaging you. There's 5 steps they must go through. And the person must go from each step. You have to go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 to step 5. You understand? And you can't skip the steps. You can't go from step 1 to step 3. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your goal is to get to step 5 as quickly and easily as possible. As quickly as possible. And the faster you can go through the steps, there's a natural momentum that builds that, with everything else being the same, makes it easier to get to the deal. So sometimes if you're on step 2 and you've been on step 2 for too long, in your head you need to be thinking, what do I need to do to get to step 3? What are the words? What can I strategically put together to get to step 3, right? It's bad if it lingers in step 2 for too long. And then you get to step 3 and then so on and so forth. So what are all these steps? Any phone you've ever bought, the customer will go through all 5 of these steps. And any phone you ever buy in the future, to the end of time, the customer has to go through each of these steps. Step number 1 is W. Step number 1 is C. C stands for contact. The customer contacts you. They send you a message on Facebook Marketplace. Hey, I'm interested in this item. Or they send you a text. Hey, I saw your ad on Craigslist. I have a phone I want to sell. Then we're going to go to W. W is what? What does the customer have? What is their phone? What is the condition of their phone? Step number 4 is O. We're going to send the customer an offer. Once we know what phone they have, the details of the phone, and the condition of the phone, we will send the customer an offer. Then step number 4 is close. Closing is when the customer agrees on the price that you're willing to give them. And then step number 4 is the meetup. We have to iron out the details of meeting up with them. And people, this might sound simple, this last step. If you don't know what you're doing, you can have the customer agree to the price and you can fuck up the meetup and not meet up with them. And if you've ever had challenges with this up to now, guys, anything we're going over that you haven't figured out now is not your fault. You are not born, no one is born knowing this stuff that I'm teaching you here in this video and in the other videos. You'd have had to go through, I've been going through self-improvement stuff for the last 10 years, reading books, going to seminars, going to programs. I've gone through over $100,000 of high-end programs, so I learned all this, right? It's not like you learn this in school. There was never a class on, you know, how to retain profits and close people and get people to sell you their stuff, right? So this kind of stuff, a lot of people don't even know this kind of stuff's available to them. So that's why we go over all this stuff. Now, there are challenges that can happen through each of these things. What's a problem that could happen? If you send the customer an offer, what's something that could happen that would stop them from wanting to go to the next step? They could not like the price of the offer. You could send them the offer and then they hang up on you or they stop responding to you. Wouldn't you agree with me on that? Then you could close them so they could agree to the price you give them, but then there could be problems figuring out the logistics of the meetup. Maybe they got work till 8 o'clock. Maybe you have work till 8 o'clock. I did this full time when I started. So I would be closing deals and I wouldn't get off work for 8 hours. There are things you must say to the customer to make it to where if you're not going to meet up with them for the 8 hours, they're real confident that you're going to come through and they hold on to the item for you and they don't try to sell it to someone else. There was only one time where I ever had someone that they agreed to a price and I didn't meet up with them and they sold it to someone else. Only one time out of probably hundreds of times. Even though I was at work and I wasn't going to be able to, I can't meet people till I get off work. And it's because I do certain things. Just like how we're concerned every time we go to meet up with the customer, we're concerned that the customer might flake on us and might not show. The customer has the same thoughts about you. And you need to solidify that you're a solid individual and the meetup is for sure happening. Because if you don't, then there's a chance they might flake on you. It might become a self-fulfilling prophecy to where they don't think it's going to happen, so they try to sell it to someone else. Or they stop responding to you. Right? You know, especially if you guys are each going to meet in the middle and you're driving 20 minutes, in the customer's head, they're thinking the whole time, I hope this person doesn't flake. I hope this is not a setup. I hope it's not bullshit. There are things you must do to lock it down and make it solid, which we're going to go over all this right now in this video. So guys, I'm going to go over a bunch of things here, and there's a blueprint that you can copy and paste. I want you also to understand the reasons we do certain things so you can start to understand this and calibrate this. You will start to get a feel where whenever a customer says something to you, they will say it a little bit differently than the previous customer, and then you will know exactly how you should respond when they say it. So they might say something a little bit different than the last customer, so the response you send them is a little bit different. There's emotions and feelings behind all the words the customers say in the sentences, and you want to get really good at understanding what those are, getting real sensitive to little things. A customer saying okay versus a customer saying okay versus a customer saying K. The meaning behind each of these words or these letters is real different. And once you can get a feeling and understand it on a deeper level, you'll be able to adjust what you say slightly based on these scripts and have a really good success with closing. And the only way to do that, guys, is by going through lots of practice. I would love to tell you that you're just going to you're going to wake up tomorrow and be a superstar. That's not how it works. If you're like really socially savvy, you might kind of understand this on an intuitive level. I didn't, so I had to go through lots of meeting up with people. The good news is, guys, the script I'm going to get, you don't have to go through like months till you start seeing success. You can literally copy the scripts I'm going to give you and start seeing really good success right away. You'll just start seeing even more success once you really start to understand this. But I have students, guys, it's very common where a student will be like doing stuff on eBay and they come to me, and in a day I've tweaked them to where their business increases 300% or 500% or 700%. I have students where all their businesses have increased that much, guys. Like one student, Dave, was getting 0 to 3 phones a week. After we did the call, he started consistently getting 1 to 2 phones a day. 0 to 3 phones a week to 1 to 2 phones a day. I had another student was getting 5 leads a day on average. Ben was getting 5 leads a day on average. He was getting like 1 or 2 or 0 phones a week. We got on the call. The next day, got over 100 leads and had 5 appointments set up. So all by copying the script. So, guys, you want to go out there and start making money now. Not later, not next week. You want to start making it now. But just know that in time, you'll kind of get a deeper understanding of how this works and how to communicate with people, and your closing ratio will be even better. So let's start off with this. So, customer says, interested in this item. If you're on Facebook Marketplace, you get this a lot. The customer will say, I'm interested in this item. It's a canned response, one button that they can press that will send this message to you. I'm interested in this item. That's why you get that so much. And something we got to understand, guys, is what I'm going to show you is all about messaging. This is all about negotiating a deal through either a messaging app or texting, but not on the phone, all through messaging. If someone calls you on the phone from a Craigslist ad, let's say, about 80% of their attention is on you. They're talking to you. They're thinking about, they're focused on you. When they're on the apps or they're texting or their messenger, it's less of a commitment. So because of that, only about 20% of their attention is on you. And because of that, over the phone, you can do things to build rapport. I might ask them how their day's doing. I might make a little joke. When it comes to messaging, it's all business. Nuts and bolts. No need to really build rapport. It's all about finding out what they have and shooting them a quote. So, and the reason for that is they're doing so much other stuff, we don't need to draw it out into just all business. So the customer would say, I'm interested in this item. This is what we're going to like. This is the first line we say, awesome. Do you have something you want to sell? Customer says, and then, so we'll go from here. I'm interested in this item. The first thing we always say is awesome. Awesome is a rapport building word. Awesome is a positive word. Another thing you could say that one of my students says is okay, great. Okay, great or awesome says the same thing. It's positive, it's upbeat, but it's not saying I want you guys to get the feel of this. I have an iPhone 6 Plus. We'll just say 6S Plus. I'm interested in this item. Awesome. Do you have something you want to sell? Yeah, I have an iPhone 6S Plus. So we say this. I'm going to loop back to it. And the reason we do this for is a couple reasons, guys. We're asking a question. Notice one of the things I do is I'm almost always asking questions. Questions lead the conversation. It's your job to lead the conversation from C to W to O to C to M, not the customer's job. You must be in control. Customer, yeah, I have an iPhone 6S Plus. Any problems with it? So the customer has an iPhone 6S Plus. They told us what they have. And then I say, any problems with it? Now, why do I say this? There's only two things I want to know. I want to know the problems it has and the carrier it's with. I always, the first time I quote a phone, I always quote it as bad ESN, and I assume the lowest gigabyte. And I do that because messaging is short, simple, and right to the point. And if you go back and forth with messages too much in the W section before you make an offer, it kills the momentum. So even AT&T and Verizon, you assume it's the lowest gigabyte and it's bad ESN. In the beginning, I'll tell you here in a sec when you can change that up. Yeah, I have an iPhone 6S Plus. Any problems with it? Customer. Yeah. Screen is cracked. Us. Any other problems? Customer. No. Us. Can you still move through the phone and see the screen well through the cracks? Customer. Yeah. So let's break this down so far. This is a standard conversation. I'm interested in this item. Awesome. Do you have something you want to sell? Question mark. Yeah, I have an iPhone 6S Plus. Any problems with it? Notice, guys, this is not even a complete sentence. This is messaging. It doesn't have to be a complete sentence. That doesn't matter. We're getting right to the point. Any problems with it? Screen is cracked. Any other problems? Oh, always put a question mark. Customer, no. Now, if the screen's cracked, I want to see if the LCD's bad. I want to see if the LCD's bad or the digitizer's bad. So I say, can you still move throughout the phone and see the screen well through the cracks? Right? I'm trying to say, is there ink? Is the lines? Does it still respond to touch? Right? Customer, yeah. Us. Okay, great. And which company is it with? Customer. AT&T. This is all we need to make an offer. Now let's break. I want to show you this part too. We got the problems, right? And then after I ask them a couple problems to get information, I say, okay, great. That's the same thing as saying kind of awesome. It kind of keeps the... you don't want to go just boom, 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 boom. You want to have a little bit of positivity, a little bit of spike in energy. Okay, great, and awesome gives it a little bit of spike in energy, but not too much. Notice the difference. Customer, I'm interested in this item. What if I said this? Oh my gosh, that's so great. I'm so happy you reached out to me. I'm sure I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business, and I would love to see what you have. You have an item you want to sell? Now, I over-exaggerated that, but you feel how that's too much. It's too much. You're getting kind of needy. You're getting kind of desperate. You're talking too much. What the fuck are you doing? This is texting. We're getting right to the point. We say awesome. That whole big over-the-top thing I just explained to you guys, awesome sums that up in a clear, crisp, nice, fluid, smooth word. That's why we say awesome. Do you have an iPhone 6s Plus? The customer says this. Any problems with it? Customer screen's cracked. Any other problems? I want to get all the problems. The screen might not turn on. It might be bent, right? Get all the problems before you meet up with them. No. Can you still move throughout the phone even though it's cracked? Yeah, okay, great. What company is it with? So I got a couple bits of information. I want to add a spike of positiveness to it. So okay, great. Which company is it with? AT&T. Now, guys, I make the offer. This is all I need. Always make the offer. These are the words you say. And let me explain something else to you guys real quick. All these little things I'm teaching you matters. All these little things are important. All these little things, how I put a question mark, that matters instead of a period. Let me show you guys this. Which company is it with? I used to say carrier. Why do I not say carrier? Why do I strategically and purposely decided to change the word carrier with the word company? Because some people don't know what the word carrier means. And the last thing I want to do is confuse a customer. The last thing I want to do is say something to where the customer might not understand what it means. Because if I do that, when there's confusion, it can create negative energy inside the customer. And if I got to explain what carrier means, if I say, which carrier is it with? And they're like, I'm not really sure what that means. And then maybe the customer feels stupid because they don't know what the word carrier means. And they feel confused. And then you have to say, oh, I'm sorry, what company is it with? Even that little extra thing we had to do slows down the process from going to the W to the O. Slows down the process from of us getting what it is to making the offer. And if you say that one thing, guys, it's not going to kill it. But you say a few of those things and it can really start to stall it, and it could kill it. I know there's people out there, and it may be you and maybe other people who are not following this process. They're just fucking it up all the time. If someone's going to take the time to reach out to you guys and see what you have, and they're making the first move, whether they're calling or they're messaging you, they're interested. They took the time to reach out to you. All right? They want to see what you have. That's a solid, warm lead. But you can fuck it up by not doing this stuff. So if someone who's making $100,000 a year in profit on eBay now, roughly sometime, I figure that's kind of what I've been averaging over the last couple of months now. If I am taking the time and the brain power to think that to switch out the word carrier with company, you should too. And notice something else, guys. I'm only getting, this is important, you only get one bit of information per question you ask. I don't say, are there any problems with the phone and what company is it with? That's too much. You ask for 2 bits of information, and that's too much of a commitment for the customer. You get one thing at a time, and you get it by asking short, simple questions. Feel the flow again. I'm interested in this item. Awesome. You have something you want to sell? Yeah, I have an iPhone 6s Plus. Any problems with it? Screen is cracked. Any other problems? No. Can you still move throughout the phone and see the screen well through the cracks? Yeah. Okay, great. What company is it with? AT&T. Did you guys feel that? Did you feel how that was right to the point? It was smooth. I wasn't talking a lot. See how all these things I'm saying are a few words. This is like a lot of words, and I only send this if it's cracked, right? This is almost too much words, but it's still okay. I'm sending 3 words here. I'm sending 4 words here. I'm sending awesome. Do you have something? I don't know. What's that? 8 words or whatever that is. 8, whatever that is. 8 words. Short, simple, right to the point. If you're doing more than that, guys, you're doing too much, and you need to condense it down. Or you just copy the script. So let's say we appraise it. Let's say we see it's selling for 200. So we're going to offer, and we're going to offer 100. So this is how you make the offer. The wording of this is important. Us. Now we're going to transition. Look right here. Now we're going to transition from what it is to making the offer. This is how you make the offer. Awesome. I can give you $100 for it. This is all important. Awesome is positive and upbeat. Before we make the offer, I like to make it a little positive and upbeat. Awesome, comma, I can give you $100 for it. Notice if I just said $100. Guys, what does that mean? What am I saying? What the fuck? What am I doing here? So you need to use these words so it's very clear. I, aka you, can give you, which is the customer, you can give them $100 for it. What is it? The phone. It is very clear here exactly what you're doing, and this matters, guys. Awesome. I can give you $100 for it. Isn't it very clear with this sentence? You just made them an offer. I've coached some people, and they'll say, okay, I can give you $100 for it, and I can meet you pretty much whenever. You do not want to say this. If you say this, you're rushing it, and I can meet you pretty much whenever. That's another thought, and that's rushing it. That's saying too much. We're going to talk about this. We're going to say this later, but not now. If you say this, guys, that's not good. You just want to say it like this. Awesome, I can give you $100 for it. 3 things will happen at this point. 1, the customer will stop responding. You ever had that happen? Or they hang up on you. B, they want more money. The only reason they wouldn't want to move forward is they want more money. That's it. I mean, maybe 0.5% of the time it's because you live 400 miles away. It's always going to be that they want more money. Or C, they agree to the meetup. They agree to it. If you follow the script I gave you guys, and you follow this, you're going to get it'll still be a handful of people that you'll make the offer and they'll agree to it, and that's fine, and you can meet them. You don't even have to do anything else. You can go right to the next step. There's going to be some people, though, who want more money or they stop responding. So let's see how we handle this. A, if they stop responding, wait a couple hours, then say, so what do you think? You're saying, so what do you think? You want to wait a couple hours. You say, so what do you think? So you want to get them talking again and re-engage in the conversation. Now, here's why you want to wait a significant amount of time. You might be having a message and you might offer them, you might say one thing and a minute later they say another thing, and a couple minutes later you say another thing, and a couple minutes later they say another thing. You make them the offer, they might go quiet for 20 minutes and then they might hit you up and say, all right, that sounds good, when are we meeting? You understand? The reason they might do this for a couple reasons is they might be thinking about the offer. Should I take it? Should I not? They might be asking their spouse, right? Hey, what do you think about this? He offered me $100. Maybe it was not as much as they wanted if they don't message you back right away, but it's $100. You think I should take it, right? So you let them sink in it a little bit. You're going to send this and you're going to feel tension inside yourself. I feel tension inside myself. Everyone feels tension because you make the offer and there's tension inside you where you feel like, well, shit, this is the final thing. Are they going to accept it or not, right? Don't say anything else after you send this. You're going to be tempted to talk. You're going to be tempted to say, let me give you an example. Let's say we go through the whole thing. Okay, great. Which company is it with? AT&T. And then I say, awesome. I can give you $100 for it. It's a great phone, but it's a couple years old, and there's an issue with it, and I got to resell it, and it takes time for me to do this, and it's a bit of a process, and I got eBay and PayPal fees because I sell it on eBay, but it's a great phone. I'd love to meet up with you. I'm pretty much free anytime today after 5 because I get off work, but yeah, I can't, $100 is what I could give you. Do you guys feel how I come across as like a needy little bitch? You don't want to do that. That's why we say awesome. I can give you 100 for it. You're being solid, you're being smooth, and you're confident in the offer, and that's it. Period. But if you wait, if the conversation has been going smoothly, and you wait some time, especially if you wait a couple hours, usually at a couple hours, they've had time to sink it in and they don't like it and they stop responding. So you can send this to get them talking. So if they say, so what do you think? What are they going to say? Well, I was wanting to get more for it. Right? It's always about the price. So this and C, they want to get more money, or B, they want to get more money, comes to the same thing. Customer wants to get more money. So now we're both back to this objection. They want to get more money. They're going to say things, I was hoping to get more for it. Right? So if they say that, here's the magical line we say. Well, let me ask you a question. I buy and sell phones for a living, so I do need to make a little profit. If I were to drive to you today and bring cash, what would you be comfortable letting the phone go for? All right, so listen. Well, let me ask you a question. I buy and sell phones for a living, so I do need to make a little profit. If I were to drive to you today and bring cash, what would you be comfortable letting the phone go for? This does a couple things. The first thing this does is it makes it seem like the customer's in control. We're in control, but we make it seem like the customer's in control. We ask them what they'd be comfortable letting it go for. And this has what's called power phrases. If I were to drive to you today and bring cash, a power phrase is something that emotionally excites the customer. So we got to think about it in the customer's head. The customer, guys, is usually selling their phone for a couple reasons. A, they just want some cash. Sometimes they need money now. They're in a situation. They want us to get money now. So when you say something like, I'll bring cash, that gets them excited. Because you're talking about bringing cash, right? Cash is always better. Cash just gets people excited. When you say, I'll drive to you today, that says you're going to go to them and you're going to meet them today. It says that you're committed. You'll meet them today and then you'll bring cash. There's also people, guys, or a situation could be they've been trying to sell their phone for a week. And they're fucking getting tired of dealing with people. And maybe someone wanted to meet them, but the person flaked. And the next person that wanted to meet them met them in the back alley. If you've been doing this for a while, people will tell you that they were excited that you showed up because they've had people flake on them. This shows them that you're committed, you're like 110% in, and you're going to drive to them, which is a convenience for them. So now they're thinking, well, shit, maybe I'm willing to let it go for a little bit less because, shit, he'll come to me, he sounds pretty committed, and he'll bring cash. You guys understand? So the customer, at this point, if they make you an offer for what you like, accept it and then move on to the next part, we'll act like the customer's tough. I'd let it go for 180. Us. So we offered $100. In our make-believe example, we offered $100, and it's going to sell for $200. So we can go up about $10, but we can't go up anymore because I need to make my money. So you need to make your money. We don't care what the customer wants for it, by the way. We just got to, as long as we can make our money. So we'll say, I tell you what, I can't do 180. The highest I can go is 110. But I can drive to you today and bring cash. And guys, let me explain something to you. Driving to you does not mean going to their house. All right, I did a coaching call, and they're like, I'm not comfortable. She was a lady. She wasn't comfortable meeting them at their house. Driving to them just means you're going to meet them in their area. Guys, I mean, I'm like a guy, right? So, and I'm like 6'2", and I'm 28, right? And I work out a little bit, so it's like, I guess I could be, if something were to go down and I met someone at their house, that's whatever, but usually the customer wants to meet you in public. I mean, I might go to someone's house maybe once a month, maybe. 99% of the time, I'm meeting them at the gas station. I'm meeting them at the Quick Trip. I'm meeting them at the restaurant. Somewhere they want to meet you somewhere public too, because they have the same fear as you do. I can drive to you today and bring cash. So this does a couple things. I tell you what, I can't do 180. So we say what we can't do. The highest I can do is 110. So if you can go up a little bit in price, go up. If not, don't go up. This is also important because this says it's the highest you can do. There's no more room for negotiating. This word matters. And then you repeat, I can drive to you today and bring cash. Sometimes I'm going back and forth with the customer and I'm hitting it hard. And I'll say, but I can drive to you and bring cash. Like I'll say that like 4 times in a fucking row because it works. It gets them all excited, right? And listen, if you don't want to drive to them or you can't drive to them, guys, you say, but I can meet you today. It's the same fucking thing. Meet you today or drive to you, same thing. So use meet you today if you need to meet them today. Let's say the customer says, nah, I need 180 for it. We could get deeper. And I'll give you an example of that here in a sec. Us. No worries. My offer is always on the table. If anything changes, let me know. Why do we say this, guys? When you say this, no worries, my offer is always on the table. I give it 2 chances and then I say this. If anything changes, let me know. What's this saying? The underlying thoughts and ideas behind this is, listen, we're not coming to terms on price because I can't go any lower. But I'm a serious person. I would like your phone. And if anything changes in the future, let me know. By saying this, guys, you'll get a few people a week that will message you. And they'll be like, okay, fine, I'll sell it. Because you know what they'll do? They know when you say this, you're serious. If you just said, well, never mind then. If you just said, well, never mind then, guys, then it like ends it. It sounds like you're out of the deal. You're not committed anymore. When you say, no worries, my offer is always on the table. If anything changes, let me know. Shows that you're committed. So they're going to think about this, right? And what will happen, guys, is I'm telling you, they're going to message a few other people. The other people are going to bullshit. Now, sometimes they're going to message other people, and someone else will offer them more money, and they'll take it. But other times, they'll message other people, it'll be all bullshit, and they'll message you, and they'll be like, okay, that's fine, I'll do 110. When do you want to meet? So you want to say this to give them the option. Now, let me give you an advanced something that, so you could go back and forth a little bit. I don't do this, because you're going to get so many leads you don't have to. They could say, I'm going to give you this example anyway, just so you have it. I really need 180 for it. Us. No worries, I understand. You have a great phone. This is like kind of advanced sales objection overcoming. You know, when I used to sell cars, because I'm selling a car and it's a $16,000 car, I would have to handle all the objections. With this, you don't really have to do it. No worries, I understand. You have a great phone, so I'm kind of boosting their ego a little bit. If you don't mind, I don't want to like come across like I'm being too soft on it. If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been trying to sell the phone for? Customer. About a week now. Sometimes, guys, if it's on like OfferUp, I'll go to OfferUp, and you can see that they message you about a phone they fucking had on OfferUp for, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Us. 2 weeks. Yeah, I saw it on your profile. Why haven't you been able to sell it? See, and guys, you ask questions. Everything I do, you're going to watch this video 3 times. I already know you're watching it, and you'll see what I'm doing is a lot of it's questions. I'm asking questions, guys, because I'm trying to get them to realize that they're fucking asking too much for the item. But I can't just say you're asking too much for the item. I have to say, because if I say that, even if it's true, their ego's going to get in the way. If I can ask questions to lead the customer to admit and to start to think that they're wanting too much, they can come down on price. Yeah, I saw it on your profile. Why haven't you been able to sell it? Customer. I just haven't found someone to take it, I guess. Us? So how much longer are you going to keep trying to sell it for at that price. You already waited 2 weeks. You're going to wait 2 more? Maybe 4? This is always kind of like the final line. It's not worth it to you to take a little bit less than what you want and get rid of it today. You guys see how I did that? So I got them thinking about it, and I kind of created some pain by asking questions, and then I said, it's not worth it for you to take a little bit less than what you want to get rid of it today. So you could do this whole thing I laid out, and I'm going to keep it here. I don't worry about it, though. I don't worry about it because I'm getting so many leads, it's not worth it. By the time I type all this out, I could respond to 10 more leads and close another deal. But it's there. Right? And sometimes, guys, if it's like a phone that's like really good and I'm getting a really good price and I'm just being a hard head, I'll sometimes say this, then I'll be like, I might be like, if it's a $300 phone and I offered maybe $145 and I came up to $165, I might be like, I tell you what, would you take $600 or $200 for it? So I'm still going to make money off it. So you guys kind of see that? I kind of hope you guys kind of get that. Now, guys, the script is made to be adjusted. So obviously, if a customer says, and they message you, they say, I have an iPhone. If they say, I have an iPhone, let me just fucking find the script for you. If the first message they send to you guys is, I have an iPhone 6S for sale, you're not going to say, awesome, what do you have for sale? The first thing you always want to say is awesome. You'd say, awesome. Any problems with it? If the first message is, I'm telling you what they have, then just say awesome, any problems with it, and go right into this. Now let me tell you something else. You want to kind of adjust what you're doing. So if I make the offer, so watch. Awesome, I can give you 100 for it. Customer, I was hoping to get more. If they say they're hoping to get more, you copy and paste. Well, let me ask you a question. I buy and sell, go into that. If the customer says, nah, I'm good. If they say something like, nah, I'm good, or no thanks, then they're pulling back. If they say, I was hoping to get more for it, they're still kind of committed. They just want more for it. If they say, if they say, no thanks, guys, then they're like pulling away. Right? They're not, if they say I was hoping to get more for it, they're hoping that you'll make them another offer so they're a little bit more committed, so you can send them that mini paragraph, if you want to call it, and they'll respond. If they say no thanks, what I usually say is I could say, well, let me ask you a question. I buy and sell phones for a living, or nah, I'm good. But if you say that line, I buy and sell phones for a living and you make a little profit, it's almost like you're trying a little bit too much and you're kind of chasing them, and I don't like that feeling at all. I want it to be even. This is a completely even thing. You're not doing the customer a favor by buying their phone. Okay, well, you are, but they're doing you a favor by selling it. It's an even 50-50 thing, so there's no need for you to ever be chasing them or begging them in any way, shape, or form to sell you their phone. We live in a society, if they sell you their phone, they said, hey, the money this guy's giving me is more valuable than what I think my phone is worth, or what I think my phone's worth, so I'm selling it to them. And you're thinking that the money you're giving them, the phone is more valuable than the money you're exchanging. So it's all 50-50. So if they say, nah, I'm good, I'll say, well, what were you looking to get for it? So I say the same thing, but I don't say as many words. This is more just kind of dry and right to the point. Their response was a little bit drier. My response is a little bit drier. Customer, 180. Say the same thing. Me. 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 The highest I can go is 110, but I can drive to you and bring cash. So I modified what I said before, but it had the same thing. Let me tell you something, guys. If you haven't been doing this for a while, doesn't matter what the customer says. Customers drop their price all the time to me. Customers have dropped their price $100, $200, $300 on a phone instantly by saying the highest I can go is blank, but I'll drive to you and bring cash. These words are powerful and they work. So I had so about a week ago, Had someone, they had iPhone 7 Plus, it was like a red, and I offered them $200, and they're like, I was really trying to get $350. And I said, well, I can't do $350, the highest I can go is $250, but I can drive to you and bring cash. They said, when would you like to meet, question mark. They wanted $350, they came down $100 just by me saying bring cash, and I'll drive to you and bring cash. A few weeks ago, I bought a S5 Active, and the guy messages me. He goes, hey, I got an iPhone S5 Active. He kind of said it all. He goes, it's from AT&T. There's no problems with it. I got a guy that said he'll give me $100 for it, but I wanted to see what you could do. I said, awesome. I can give you $40 for it. He said, all right, let me see. Let me see. If this guy doesn't come through, I'll message you. He messages me 2 hours later. I go meet up with him, and I give him $40 for it. See, now that doesn't make any sense if you're following the English language, but it does if you're following the money blueprint. I knew what he had. So the next step, guys, after he told me what he had, was to make an offer. Sometimes I have people that say, hey, I got the Samsung blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get $200 for it. I'm trying to sell it. I want to get $200 for it. And I say, awesome, I can give you $100 for it. I say that all the time because if they tell me what they have, guys, I don't care what they want. I make them an offer. And then they'll be like, well, I was really trying to get $200 for it. I say, tell you what, the highest I can do is $110, but I can drive to you and bring cash. Okay, that's fine. When would you like to meet? Right? That's how it works all the time. So when they if they're here and they tell you what they want for it and it's more than you can pay, ignore it. It doesn't matter. Pretend they didn't say it and send them the offer. And you need to send them the offer, guys, because in order to get to the meetup and get the phone, you have to send them an offer. So if you have all the details here, the only logical next step is to say the words which make an offer so you can move to the third step. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Wow. All right, so let me hold on one sec. Give me 1 sec. I just gotta say something real funny to my buddy. Oh my god. Guys, just give me 1 sec. All right, give me 1 sec. Auntie. Oh, that's so funny. All right, let's get to it. So now we got the meetup. Now they're committed. All right, so the customer says, we'll say anything. Okay, that's fine. Or okay, or I'll take it. If they just say the word okay, you assume the sale. 80% of the time, if they just say okay, that means they want to meet up. So we'll say, okay, that's fine. Us. When and where would you like to meet? And you guys see what I did here, guys? This is right to the point. It's direct and it's dry. And it's with it. When and where? Okay, I'm just going to focus on you guys for now. Okay, I'll take it. When and where would you like to meet? Right? I get it right to the point. Right to the point. Right to the point. Okay, I'll take it. When and where would you like to meet? Customer. Now notice how I do this. Pay attention. So let's give a tougher example. Well, I'm at work till 5, but I can meet you this evening. Us. No worries. Is there a certain place you'd like to meet? Customer. There's a McDonald's on 4th and Washington. Let me see if this is... No, I wouldn't say this. No worries. Would you like to meet when you get off? No worries. Meet them. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Well, I'm at work till 5, but I can meet you this evening. No worries. Would you like to meet when you get off? Customer. Well, I have to take my... I have to pick up my kids after work. Well, I have to pick up my kids after work. No worries. When is a good time? Customer. So I want you guys to see this, right? This is kind of a worst case scenario. Because sometimes I'll be like, shit, I can meet right now, and you'll skip some of this. But when and where would you like to meet? Well, I'm at work till 5, but I can meet you this evening. No worries. Would you like to meet when you get off? So I ask him that, and it's very light and gentle because I don't want to assume it. Well, I have to pick up my kids after work. No worries. When is a good time for you to meet? So I haven't figured out the time yet, so I'm keep asking questions so I can figure it out. You guys see what I'm doing? Sometimes, guys, it's rare, but sometimes I get in a tough situation where sometimes I get in a tough situation where I'll go like this for 10 times because, they got to pick up their kids. They got to get an oil change. They got to go to the grocery store. When is a good time to meet? And then the customer says, let's plan on 7. Us. Okay, great. Is there a certain place you'd like to meet at? Customer. 5th and Washington. There's a McDonald's there. Now, let's say this is even hard. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at the whole thing. No worries. Would you like to meet? Where would you like to meet when you get off? Well, I have to pick up my kids after work. No worries. When is a good time for you to meet? So I leave it to them. Let's plan on 7. There it is, guys. We lock down the time. And you notice what I'm doing. This is important. I keep asking questions. When and where would you like to meet? Notice, well, I'm at work till 5, but I can meet you this evening. What if I said, no worries, that's fine, and that's all I said? No worries, that's fine. It fucks up the flow of the thread. We're no longer moving forward. No worries, that's fine. When we say no worries, would you like to meet when we get off? We're moving the conversation forward. We're still working out the details. We're figuring out the detail of the time by asking questions. It's important. No worries. When is a good time for you to meet? Let's plan on 7. Okay, great. Is there a certain time you'd like to meet? Is there a certain place you'd like to meet? I let them be in charge. 5th and Washington. There's a McDonald's there. Well, that's kind of far from me. Could we meet in the middle at 8th and Tucker at the McDonald's there? So, guys, see what I'm saying? If it is, guys, I drive a half an hour all the time, but if it's like an hour away, I'd say something like this. Can we meet in the middle of 8th and Tucker at the McDonald's there? So I'm offering, see what I'm doing, guys? I'm offering a solution by asking a question. Customer. Yeah, that's fine. Us. Okay, great. I'll see you at that McDonald's at 7 p.m. and I'll message you at 6:40 when I'm heading that way. Now this is important, guys. This final thing. Why do we say this? We say this because this confirms the meeting. I'll see you at the McDonald's, at 7 p.m., and you'll message them at 6:40 when you're heading that way. Very important to say this. This solidifies the meetup. This shows that you're serious. You're going to message them at 6:40 when you're heading that way. What's that do to the customer's mind? Shows them that you're serious, that you're not flaking, that you're about your business, that this is going to happen. Now, this is like worst case scenario. Usually a customer says, usually it's more like this. Me, when and where would you like to meet? Customer, well, I'm at work till 8, but I could meet after. Awesome. Is there a certain place you'd like to meet? Customer, there's a Walmart right by where I work. We could meet at us. Awesome. Which Walmart is it? I'm asking questions. Short, simple questions. Customer, the one in Purpleville off the highway. Us. Perfect. So you want to say, what time do they get off? What time do they get off? 8 o'clock. So you want to say 8:10 at the Walmart? And I say this, I word it lightly. I don't say, great, I'll see you at 8:10 at the Walmart. I say, so you want to say 8:10 at the Walmart? I say that, guys, so if they're like, if that's too early, they have an easy way out, right? This gives them an easy way out to keep the convo flowing. Let's plan on 8:10:22. Be safe. Me. Us. Awesome. I'll see you at the Walmart at 8:30, and I'll text you or message if it's. Everything I do is usually done through one median. So if it's all through the OfferUp app, I'll say I'll message you on here at 8 when I'm heading that way. Customer. Okay, great. Me. By the way, I always create a bill of sale. So will you have your driver's license on you? Customer. Yes, me. Okay, great. I'll see you in a few hours, and I'll message you on here at 8. So guys, we always get a bill of sale. So, and this is when you throw in the bill and sale. The bill and sale I don't bring up until the end, right? Because this is like, you want to work out the details and get them committed. I will sometimes bring up the bill of sale in the beginning if I think the items might be stolen, right? If they got a couple of brand new sealed phones, sometimes those have a higher probability of being stolen than other ones. Sometimes they're not. So sometimes if we're working out the details, we'll be like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to create a bill of sale if we come to terms on this. So will you have your driver's license on you? Just so I don't waste my time. Right, I had a guy message me and he had like 8 iPad Pros, 12.9 inch, 256 gigabyte, all sealed. So I brought up the bill of sale in the beginning, and it deterred him away, which was good because it was good. I didn't, I wasted less time onto the next lead. But that's when I always throw it in, and you see the way I keep it, guys, short, simple, and right to the point. And then that's it, guys. That's it, guys. That's the script. So what you're going to get is, you're going to get this whole thing. So you want to save this and go through this and study this. And when you get to different pieces, just copy and paste it. You're going to get leads. If you follow this blueprint, you'll start getting lots of deals and you can start making money. That's what I got for you guys. Let me see if there's anything else I need to go over. That's pretty much it. And I hope, one of the things I wanted you guys to get out of this is I am getting right to the point, and I wanted you to see kind of the feelings and the tonality and how I'm feeling underneath this. You know, it's all business. It's all business. It's right to the point. And you'll notice as you go through this, and I study this, I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions. Short questions, small lines, usually a few words or maybe a sentence at the most. When and where would you like to meet? Very simple, short sentence with a question mark. No worries. Would you like to meet when you get off? Right? I'm asking the questions to figure out the details. Ask questions. You ask questions to figure out the details. I'm not going to assume they can meet when they get off, so I ask them. If they say yes, I move forward. If not, I got to figure out what time they want to meet. And then where they want to meet. And then I lock it down by saying I'll text you. And then what happens, guys, is when I text them, so let's scroll all the way down. So at 8 o'clock I text. 8 p.m. and you're on top of your business, so okay, I'm heading that way now. I'll be there right at 8:20 in a silver Toyota, and I'll park in a silver Toyota. That's good enough. And then when you start offering information, the customer will start information. Okay, great. I'm about to get off work now. I'll be in a red Ford pickup. Okay? And then usually when I get there, okay, I'm here. I'm parked in the front. I'm standing outside in a gray shirt. You start offering information about you, they'll start offering information about them. And then you can get a feel for it. They might not be comfortable meeting in the parking lot, right? So you meet them inside the Walmart. I met a guy at a Quick Trip, right? He wanted to meet inside. We went inside at the Quick Trip. I feel him out. If he's comfortable inside, we'll go inside. If he's not comfortable outside, we don't go outside. We'll go inside. You get a feel for it, and then they start doing it, customer. Okay, I'm in a pink polo and jeans. I'm pulling up now. So that's it, guys. That's what I got for you. If you guys, let's say, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right now. You got the script. Now, listen. You got the leads and you got the script, so go do this. Don't fucking watch the video. Don't do anything. Make sure you go do the thing in the first video where you're getting lots of leads, and make sure you use the script. Go make money. Money's not going to fall out of the sky. You have to take action. You got to go out there and put this to use. You have to go out there and try it and do it.